Too many digital marketing entrepreneurs are not hitting the level of income that they would like to see in their business. And this is really because they have more of a freelancer mindset and haven't really shifted into running more of a business that needs systems or relies on systems. So if you are finding that you are stuck underneath that six-figure mark of income in your business, this video is really going to help you identify some specific reasons as to what exactly is keeping you under that six-figure mark and what you can do about that. So today I want to share with you 6 core reasons that you are not hitting that six-figure mark. And along the way with each of these reasons, I'm going to give you some very specific questions that I want you to ask yourself that are really going to help you reflect on where you are. And it's going to help you identify exactly what you need to be working on right now in your business. So let's jump right into these, starting with core reason number 1. And this is probably the one that is going to least surprise you out of all of the 6 if you have been around here at Portable Entrepreneur, because I have talked about this before, and that is that you are selling skills and not outcomes. So many marketers position themselves as, hey, I sell websites, or I run ads, or I do social media, or I manage Google Business Profile, which all are valuable services. They're really helpful to businesses, but it's not what your clients actually want to pay for. They want to pay for the results. If you do that work, what are they going to get out of it? What is their business going to experience? So as you talk to prospects, you talk to your clients, if you find that you are describing your service more as like a job description than an actual outcome, that is going to limit your income. So even if you do nothing with your service, you change nothing about it, you offer the same service, but you simply change how you talk about it, that is going to help you make more money. Even if that doesn't sound like a huge shift, it really is, because it shows up, it sounds completely different for your clients. So some specific questions that I want you to ask yourself about this to know if you are having the right conversations. I've noted these down here for you. Can I clearly say what problem I solve in one sentence? Now, you may have heard me share the example before that you should be able to complete a simple sentence about your business that says, I help X accomplish Y. So I help who? Who are you helping? And then what do you help them accomplish? That is it. Can you boil it down specifically to one thing that you help that one audience do there? Next question is, does my offer promise a business result or just deliverables? Are you offering web design and saying, hey, I'm going to give you 5 pages and a contact form and I'm going to upload some images? Those are deliverables. Well, of course, that's the work you're going to be doing. What business result are you going after? Is that going to help them convert more of this traffic that they have so they gain more leads every month? Is this going to help them book more appointments because now you've created this that's going to then increase their income? What experience are they going to have in their business after you offer that deliverable to them? And would a client know how I help them make or save money? So think about anybody you've talked to right now. Do they already know from your conversation how you are going to either make or save them money? And if not, that's telling you that you really need to think about the conversations you have with prospects and your current clients as well. All right, core reason number 2 is that you are pricing like a contractor and not like a business owner. So this means if you have hourly rates right now, if you have just very low retainers, or what I see a lot is if you are doing custom quotes. So for every single client, and I say this because this was me when I started out, every single prospect that came to me got a unique quote because they needed something unique, right? That's the way that I felt, and I wanted to make sure I was getting them exactly what they wanted. But it took so much time to create a proposal, to make sure everything was customized for them, and I wasn't using a template at all. It wasted a tremendous amount of time, and I was really making a lot less money by doing it that way as well. So if you are worried about charging just what feels fair, or you just don't want to charge a lot, maybe you feel bad, maybe you don't feel worthy, you don't want to scare anybody away because you just need that client so bad, or you know you want to raise your rates, but you're just postponing it later down the road, then pricing is something that you definitely want to think about. So if you find that when you are looking at how many clients do you need to hit your income mark, if you're finding that to hit that 6-figure income mark at a minimum, that you are needing 30, 40, 50 clients or beyond, then that system that you are using is broken and something within that has to change so that you can make more by serving less. And I really feel like that is a win-win situation. You have less clients to serve, so you're earning more per client, but that frees you up to be able to serve them at a higher level. If you have more clients, you have less time for each of them. So you just simply cannot offer them the same level of service as if you serve less clients. So some specific questions that I want you to ask yourself. Do I know my monthly revenue target? If you have looked at 6 figures, what does that break down to every single month? What do you need to be bringing in each week, each month in order to hit that target? You can't possibly hit what you are not tracking. You don't know how close you are. You don't know what to alter. Everything that you should be doing, you should be tracking, and you should know what you are aiming for. Now, how many clients would it take to hit that number? So again, breaking that down. And could I realistically, this is important, could I realistically serve that many clients without burning out? So when I said it's a win-win, you have more time for each client, you can do a better job for each client. But if you're trying to serve 50 clients and let's say you're doing it on your own or you just have one part-time freelancer helping you, you're probably going to be really burnt out. It is exhausting to be able to do that. So you want to be able to make sure you're creating a system in your business that you're setting yourself up to win, to succeed, not just right now, but in the future as well. So we don't want to get too short-sighted. Now, core reason number 3 goes along with what I was saying with core reason number 2 is that you are customizing everything just as I shared that I was doing in the beginning. And I definitely can see why that was not working for me. So it can feel like you're doing something unique for each client. It can feel like it's more high end or that you're doing something more special that not everyone is doing for them or offering to them. But what that means is that you're getting inconsistent results for each of your clients. You have longer delivery times. Those clients start to demand a little bit more. They're more picky because we've really customized everything. And that leads to a lot of mental fatigue for you. You don't want to end up building a business that you hate because you didn't put the right systems in place earlier on. So if you don't have any systems, you need to start incorporating that now. And this also leads to what I experienced was income instability. We ended up thinking we were going to take 30 days to do something. Well, we ended up taking 60 days, 90 days, and it's really exhausting to be in that. So 6-figure service businesses really rely on repeatable systems. So if you want to hit that 6-figure mark, we're looking at who are we serving, how are we serving them, and what repeatable system can we put in place so that we can do this consistently for each of the clients. Now, 6 figures really isn't about you being more talented. It's more about you having more of a repeatable system. So I'll talk more about that coming up, just how you have the repeatable system, how you're developing the framework for what you do. So make sure that you subscribe so that you don't miss out on that, because that's really going to help you really shift how you present to prospects as well. And it changes the conversation and it fixes a lot of what we're going to be talking about here today. So specific questions that I want you to ask yourself is, do I have a documented process for onboarding, for delivery, and for reporting? Is it the same for everyone? Do you know step by step what it is that you're doing? If you are just starting, you don't have that. Don't beat yourself up about that. It is normal. But what you want to do is focus on how, with every single project that you have, are you starting to document what it is that you do and starting to create a process that is repeatable for every client. So that is just something to keep in mind. Nobody starts with that. That's what you work up to. Now, the second question that I want you to ask yourself is, could someone else follow my system and get similar results. So I have a web design workflow. I have a Google Business Profile workflow. I have an AI SEO workflow. So this is really something that walks step by step by step through everything that needs to be done. And that way I get consistent results, whether I'm the one going through and doing the work, if I hand that off to someone else and they do the work. If you were to take my system and then you implement it, then you're getting the same results. And that's what this is all about, is having that repeatable task over and over. The last question here is, am I reinventing the wheel for every client? That's the whole purpose of the process. If you are reinventing the wheel, coming up with all this custom work time after time, then you are going to limit your income and you're going to get burnout. It's really tough place to be. I get it. I've been there. Core reason number 4 is you are relying on you instead of the system. So you're probably starting to hear the pattern here with a lot of these. It is coming down to repeatable systems, patterns that are happening in your business, client after client. So if you, which this is normal, especially when you're starting, if you're the sales process, if you are fulfillment, if you are support, if you are the strategist, you are everything, then it's really all about you. You are the business. And this is where people make jokes that you leave a 9 to 5 just to go work in your own business 24/7, right? And that's what we don't want. We don't want to be the joke. We want to have the business that frees us that allows us to work from anywhere, that allows us to work at any time. And it really frees us up a lot more. And so if we're doing everything, we need to make sure that we are able to hand things off to someone else. And if you don't want to build a team, that's fine. Maybe you want someone to be able to come in and just support some basic things. Well, maybe you go on vacation, right? So 6 figures really happens when the business works with you, and it's not only working just because of you, that if you were to pull out and someone else were to come into your business, everything would fall apart or be completely different. So that's something to think about, even if you don't think that down the road you want to have anyone else come into your business and work. You don't want to have employees, you don't want to have freelancers, which is totally fine. This is still very important to be able to hit, maintain, and scale past 6 figures. So some specific questions to ask yourself is, what breaks if I step away for 2 weeks? I mean, what if you wanted to go on vacation? You wanted to have some downtime with your family. What if life happens and you get ripped away from your work and your family because there was an emergency? What's going to happen in your business? So there is actually a video that I did a while ago that I will link to here. And that talks about how I planned earlier on in my business to be able to go away on vacation, how I kind of set that up ahead of time to see, this is my test. If I don't make myself available and I pull myself out, what is going to happen during that time? So if you're interested in that, definitely check that one out too. Now, the second question is, what task could be templated, automated, or what task could be delegated? Is there anything that you are doing that is in this repeatable process that you could automate or you could easily hand off to someone else? There's a lot of, when you create these systems that actually don't require someone that is really knowledgeable. You're able to just show them, hey, here's my system, here's my process. Now you just take it and you just follow this process, and then they're going to get the same result that you get because you have that process down. Now, another question is, am I building assets or just trading time? So that's something to really think about, especially earlier on, is how are you turning all the projects that you have, or each project that you have, and using that to build out a framework for your business, build out a system for your business so it's getting better and better. Now, core reason number 5 is that you don't have a clear path for the clients. This is a really big one because clients don't want a marketing service. Everybody is selling a marketing service. And no, the market is not saturated. Yes, there's plenty of clients for you. You can still do this. But what your clients are looking for is not just somebody, again, saying, hey, I run social media ads, or I offer a Google Business Profile. They want to go on a journey with you because you're looking at, where are they now? where do they want to be? And then you are mapping out how they are going to get there. So you, in this map, this strategy that you're creating, you're showing them that journey of, hey, here's the framework I'm using that's going to get you from where you are now to where you want to be. And that's what these clients buy. And that's much more valuable for them as well. So if you aren't doing that right now, that is something that you need to figure out. And I will be talking more about that here coming up as well in future videos. Now, if you don't clearly map that path, okay, that's when the client starts to hesitate. And once they start to hesitate, that really starts to kill conversions on your end. And then you're really going to start pulling in more leads. You got to talk to more people to be able to get a sale. So if you're finding that you're not converting a lot of the people that you're talking to, make sure that you have that clear path and make sure it's obvious to those clients that you are talking to. So some specific questions that I want you to ask yourself here is, can I clearly explain in what month 1, 2, and 3 are going to look like for a client? This is my process. This is what you can expect when you work with me. And do they get it? Do they know what it is exactly that you're doing, what goals that you're aiming for, what outcomes that you're aiming for, how you're going to track it, how you're going to show that to them? And do you have a roadmap that you use in sales conversation? So again, are you using that framework that you are coming up with that is delivering a specific outcome? And are you showing them, this is my process? So if you are offering Google Business Profile Management services, awesome service. So many businesses really can benefit from that now more so than ever. It's very, very important. So if you're offering that, are you showing them, this is my process, and then this is the outcome that this process leads to? And that's what you want to have them walk away with. And then would a client feel confident handing me their business growth? Now, there's a lot we could really say about that particular question, but if you are showing them, hey, here's some results that I've gotten from other clients like you, and this is the process that we use. So I'm going to use this same process because, hey, I can get consistent results when I use this process. Can we work on this together? Because I want to get you an outcome like that. Do they feel confident that you can do that? And if you're like, hey, I haven't worked with them, I haven't gotten these results, that's fine. That becomes your job right now. Your next job is to go out and find a business that you are going to be able to work with to get those results. Because that is just building your own journey from where you are now to where you want to be. What you need to get to that place is results. So you got to start creating them. And as you do, and you get towards where you want to be, it just becomes easier and easier and easier. But the longer you just sit on, I don't have it, then the longer it's going to take you to get to where you want to be. Now, the final core reason is that you are playing small. Okay, because when you play small, you can stay comfortable. We don't like the outcome we're getting. We don't like the result, but we feel comfortable because it's what we're used to, right? So this one is more uncomfortable because sometimes the reason you're not getting those 6 figures isn't really strategy. It's because you have fear of being visible, putting yourself out there in front of others, the fear of rejection. Oh my gosh, what if I put myself out there and then somebody says no, right? Or the fear of just charging more. Am I really worth that? Those are the things that can hold us back and make us play small when we really should be playing a bigger game. And there's a lot like that. So you really can't build a 6-figure business while making decisions that help you avoid that discomfort. In order to grow, as much as you don't want to hear it, you're going to have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. You're gonna have to put yourself out there and do things that seem a bit scary, but become easier and better. You will feel more comfortable with them as you actually do them, and that fear will start to melt away. There's really no way around that except for taking action and being willing to do it anyway. Some specific questions to ask yourself here. What would I do differently if I knew I couldn't fail? If you knew that if you tried something, it would absolutely work, what would you go try today? What would you do differently in your business? It's probably what you need to do. Where am I choosing comfort over growth? Ooh, that one kind of stings. That's a really good question. Where am I choosing comfort over growth? Where do you feel comfortable maybe not picking up that phone or not having that conversation or not recording that video or not having your webinar, whatever it is that is holding you back? Where are you choosing that comfort over growth? And the last question here is, what am I avoiding because it feels scary, but it's necessary? It feels scary, but I know that it's necessary to grow my business. So those usually are the things that we most need to work on. So when you actually want to create six figures, there are 4 things that six-figure digital marketing entrepreneurs are going to focus on. The first is one lead source. Okay. If you are not at 6 figures, these are the 4 things that I want you to focus on. The first, pick one lead source. Where are you going to be starting to pull leads from into your business? If you don't know right now, that's okay. That's just a task list item for you to start figuring out and narrowing down so that you have one lead source. Second, you need to have one clear problem that you solve. What is one clear problem that you can solve for a business? This is where we stop taking action because we're like, I need to be amazing at email marketing and I need to be amazing at web design and SEO and Google Business Profile and this and this and this. Pick one. What is one clear problem that you can help solve? And then the third is that you want to pick one core audience. Who is the one type of client or one industry that you are going to serve? Who can you completely focus in on? So you are going to say, I am, back to the one sentence, I am going to serve this audience and I'm going to help them accomplish this, which is going to be overcoming that one problem that they have. And that is it. If you see other information, you see other services, you see other people making millions of dollars doing something else, block it out. Don't do it. Okay. Put your blinders on. You want one lead source to find that one core audience, and you're going to help them solve one core problem. And then you're going to put in one repeatable offer. What is the offer that you can give to every single one of those clients? You can get really, really good at that. This alone, by itself, you can make a 6-figure business on just doing that. One lead source, one clear problem, one audience, one repeatable offer. Do not deviate from that until you hit that 6-figure mark. It's all so much easier. If you're trying to do multiple services for multiple industries, and have all these different processes, it takes so much time and energy to be able to market that efficiently, to be able to deliver that, to be able to get results that you can showcase that will attract enough clients. You can absolutely, without a doubt, run a 6-figure business doing just that. Now, once you hit 6 figures, you can either double down and do even more of what you're doing because it works. You could just sit with what you're doing because it works and don't scale from there. If you're happy with the balance of how things are going with your lifestyle, personally, and how it's going to work, you can bring on another team member who can handle more. Whatever you decide to do at that point, you can start shifting. You can bring on more offers. You can serve different types of clients, but there's no need to do that before you hit those 6 figures. Now, if you want to move from selling random websites to building more of a scalable digital marketing business, you want to start by auditing your offer. What is that offer? Is it clear? Going through those questions that I gave you today, is it clear exactly what it is? Are you clear on the pricing? Does the pricing match that particular offer? And if you don't have them, it is okay, but are you starting to think about and put in place basic systems to help you make a repeatable system in the back end? And every project that you do, you're going to get closer and closer to that. So if you find that you have not just one thing that is really holding you back, there's multiple things here that you need to work on, and you just lack that clear, connected system, that is exactly why I created Next Level, because this is really step by step through identifying who your target audience, being able to identify what is a core problem that they have, and being able to narrow down those ideal clients that is actually going to be profitable. So you select a profitable industry that you're going to be able to serve, and then being able to look at how can I craft that offer in a way that I'm easily going to be able to sell them? How can I build a lead generation system to attract those specific types of clients that are looking for that specific type of problem to be solved, so I can start bringing in leads on a consistent basis. So I can start scaling that up. I can attract the right clients, but I can make sure that I also have a qualifying system. So I'm talking to the clients and I'm weeding out the ones that do not match what I'm looking for, because those are the clients that slow down your growth, and we want to not accept them into the business. And so that's how we're getting to those 6 figures, right? And we really then also cover how we are onboarding them in a way that's setting boundaries, so we don't get any of these difficult clients, that we have expectations for them, for us, and how we're going to help start seeing results for them and being able to deliver that. So this is not about adding more tactics to what you are doing. This is being able to take all the pieces and being able to put them together in a strategic way, because one decision leads you to the next decision, which leads you to the next, and so forth. So if you're at step 4 or 5, but you haven't completed step 1 or 2 in your business, you're just making it harder for yourself and delaying the results to getting to 6 figures. So that is something that you can learn more about at portableentrepreneur.com/next level. And if you don't want to do this alone, you can also join the Portable Entrepreneur community. Now, you can also join this alongside of Next Level, or you can also join this just as a standalone. So if you want to be able to ask me questions directly, you want to get clarity on where you're stuck, you want to get feedback for anything, you want to be able to talk about offers, pricing, client situations, and get feedback before you are making decisions that are going to impact your income, that is something that I would recommend as well. And you can head over to the Portable Entrepreneur website or go to portableentrepreneur.com/community to learn more about that as well. Sometimes the difference between staying stuck and moving forward is just having someone to help you think through what is the next right move for me personally. Now, otherwise, my next recommended step for you is to watch my video on putting your business dream into a spreadsheet, making sure that you can track it so that you can get a specific plan in order to get the outcome that you want. So I'll link that here. Make sure to watch that.